Hey guys, do you know the broke person next door? Do you know anyone who is looking good on the outside, but living paycheck to paycheck behind closed doors? Tell me in the comments below, how can you really tell that they're living paycheck to paycheck behind closed doors? You know, the person who looks like they have it all together when it comes to their money. I'm here to tell you guys, looks can be deceiving. On this video, guys, I want to share with you a few habits of the broke person next door and give you the truth about people who act rich. You know, the people who appear to have this whole money thing figured out, but in actuality, they really don't have much money. Now, these people are all around us, especially here in America. And we know there's millionaires that walk among us that just look like normal, average, everyday people. So you best believe there's a whole lot of people who unfortunately are broke who are walking amongst us as well. In fact, as of June of this year, 61% of adults in America say they are living paycheck to paycheck, according to a new Lending Club report. Now, of those people that are saying they're living paycheck to paycheck, there's three categories, right? First, there's people who make under $50,000 a year. Of those people, 75% of them say they're living paycheck to paycheck. And then you have people who are making between $50,000 a year and $100,000 a year. A full 65% of them say they're living paycheck to paycheck. And then you have those that make over $100,000 or more per year, right? The six-figure club. A full 45% of those people say they're living paycheck to paycheck. Guys, that's almost 50% of the people who make six figures or more who think and feel that they're living paycheck to paycheck. So that's quite a bit. And for most Americans, guys, credit cards are sort of filling that gap nowadays. Credit card debt in total for all Americans reached over $1 trillion just a couple of weeks ago for the first time ever. So people are feeling the pinch of having less and less money and the value of the American dollar decreasing. But on the other hand, many of these people who say that they're living paycheck to paycheck are still looking like they're doing well on the outside. So why is that? Well, I think it's because image matters, especially here in America, to a lot of people. And so people do what they have to do to look a certain part or to look a certain way, no matter what's going on with their personal finances. And those people that want to look a certain way without regard to whatever their personal financial situation is, those are the people who typically are the broke people next door. So who really is this broke person next door? So let's get into the truth about the people who act rich. There's really about three characteristics of the broke person next door. The first one is the broke person next door is typically in a boatload of debt. According to Credit Karma's data on more than 78 million Credit Karma members, Generation X folks who were born between 1965 and 1980, they carry the highest average total debt, which is over $61,000, that age group. Now in this study, debt included auto leases, auto loans, mortgages, credit cards, and student loans. So these Gen Xers average the most debt at $61,000. And that number goes down as you get younger and as you get older. So typically if you're born after 1980 or if you're born before 1965, those age groups have a little bit less debt than those Gen Xers born between 1965 and 1980. But $61,000 of debt, guys, that's pretty significant. But the people in all age groups here in America carry a significant amount of debt, and they're in lots of debt, and they're the ones that's also buying the boats, having cars on leases, and having loans on cars, and paying lots of interest, and just looking the part while barely keeping their head above water. Debt, guys, is a killer to your wealth and your future wealth. But the broke person next door, they sort of thrive on debt and leveraging debt. And a lot of times it's on things that's going down in value. Hey guys, if you're getting any value at all out of this quick video, do me a favor, smash the like button, share this video with someone who you think could use this information. Also, don't forget to drop that comment below about the broke person next door that you know. And also, if you're a first-time visitor to my channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. I really would appreciate it. Now let's get back to the characteristics of the broke person next door. Now, debt is one thing, but the second truth about people who act rich, the broke person next door, is there may be a little self-esteem issues going on there. And what I mean by that is this, guys. These are the people who typically dress to impress. They drive cars to impress. They have the big homes to impress. And they spend and spend and spend money on vacations, on watches, on clothes, on the purses, on the shoes, all of these things to impress. Now, not everybody, of course, but a lot of them. Always remember this, guys. Just because you can afford a payment on an item doesn't necessarily mean that you can really afford the item. Now, I get it. Our current culture is obsessed with the outward appearance of wealth and success. And unfortunately, it's the broke person next door who really eats it all up and buys into that way of thinking. Because there's marketers out there, guys. These marketers, they study us like lab rats in a science experiment. I mean, think about it, guys. Have you ever been thinking of a product? Just in your head, there's a product that you were thinking about, and then an advertisement for that product just happens to pop up on your phone while you're in your IG feed or you're in your Facebook feed. See, guys, I believe that social media is tracking us, right? In order to get us to spend more and more money. So hey, if you ever want to go against the grain, spend less money and live a much more frugal lifestyle. Nothing is going to upset the machine more than when you sort of leap out of it and stop spending so much money, right? Because the media and social media, they purposely fill our heads and our social media feeds and our television with the latest celebrity endorsed products that they know we think will make our lives better and more complete. And then you have credit card companies who continually extend your credit limits to buy the things that we think will allow us to sort of live and look the part of whatever we think rich or wealthy or well off or middle class is. Even though most of us believe that we're living paycheck to paycheck. Now, these broke people next door who really want to impress other people, they're not in the habit of delaying gratification. They're more in the habit of spending a little bit out of control and displaying very little discipline over their spending. And they believe that looking a certain way is important, is very important, maybe way more important than it really is. And they believe that living well is all about stuff. Now, granted, guys, America is a country of people that make a lot of money in general when compared to other countries. But we barely break the top 10 in terms of our household savings rate. But hey, that is the broke person next door mentality. Now, the third habit or characteristic of the broke person next door is that they believe, or at least they act like, income equals wealth. And income doesn't equal wealth. They're two totally different things. Let me give you just a couple of stats. American earnings peak between the ages of 45 to 54. In that age range is when people typically make the most money. Well, remember, it just so happens that that's basically the same age as the Gen Xers are right now. And remember, the Gen Xers are the people who we said earlier have the most debt. And so it just so happens that people around the 45 to 54 age range typically make more money, but they also have more debt. And that's because, guys, when people make more money, they tend to spend more money. Now, also, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the biggest jump in salary from one age group to the next age group is the jump in income from the age range of 20 to 24 to the age range of 25 to 34. In other words, that's when people make the biggest jump in their incomes because of careers and salary increases. Those things go up the most between that age group of the 20 to 24 folks and the 25 to 34 folks. Because obviously people that are 20 to 24, they're still in college, still trying to find themselves in terms of a career and where they're going to go in terms of their money. But by the time they get between the ages of 25 and 34, they're in their careers and making much more money. And those 34-year-olds that are now in their careers making more money, much more money than they made when they were in their early 20s, those folks are coming to a point where they're going to be earning more and more money. And they're going to be coming to a point where they're choosing to have more and more debt. Now, the median earnings, the middle earnings for people in the age range between 45 and 54 is just over $64,000 per year. Of course, this can change depending on if you're male or female or your race or what area of the country you're in. All those things make a difference. But in general, the median salary between that age group, 45 to 54, is $64,000 per year. And if you get married and you have two incomes, that can go up to $128,000. The point is, that's a nice chunk of money. And there are a lot of people in America who mistake this income for wealth. Well, as I said before, guys, income and wealth are two different things, right? Income is measured by what you earn or bring in every year. But we measure wealth by your assets, minus your liabilities to come up with your net worth. So just because you make a lot of money and have a higher income, it doesn't mean that you actually have a lot of money. It doesn't mean that you are wealthy or have a lot of wealth. If you have a high income and you spend everything that you bring in, or you buy a lot of stuff that's heavy on your liability side of your net worth equation, then you're really just becoming more poor by buying things with this high income that are going down in value. You know, the big spending items that ultimately depreciate. Those things destroy the wealth of many Americans. But those are the things, again, that are the cornerstone of the broke person next door's lifestyle, right? The financed car, the big house with the big mortgage payment, the student loans that won't go away no matter what you do. They're still hanging around 10, 15, 25 years later. And of course, the credit cards. Guys, the average credit card debt per household is over $6,000. Now, all of those things, guys, other than the big old house that will potentially appreciate over time, all those other things, guys, are wealth killers. But they seem to be what the broke person next door really wants to take on to look a certain way or look the part, especially as their income grows and grows and grows. Now, hey guys, you can make a high income and make a lot of money of over 6 figures. But remember, what you think is 6 figures today is not the same as 6 figures when you were growing up. It's not the same 6 figures from even 20 years ago. You have to consider inflation. And we know inflation has risen sharply in the last few years. In other words, if you want to have the equivalent of $100,000 salary from the year 2000, then today you have to be making and earning about $177,000 per year in today's dollars. So this whole notion of, I really want to have a 6-figure income, get it out of your head and get the idea out of your head that your income has anything at all to do with your actual wealth. So there you have it, guys. That is your broke person next door. And that's the truth about people who act rich. Most of them are just acting. Guys, don't forget to drop me a comment below, letting me know who you know that fits the description of the broke person next door. But don't leave their name in the comments, all right? Smash that like button for me. Share this video with someone you believe needs to hear this message. And check out a few of these videos right here for more valuable information on your financial journey to financial freedom. Hey, the best person who's going to take care of the old you is the young you. Take care of yourself and take care of other people. Until the next video, peace.